I would consider myself as a lucky person. There's many conflicts, but also it's interesting how my parents let me experience it. The problem is not where you're born or like what race you are. It's like finding yourself inside. As a mixed race, sometimes children will call you in some names that maybe you don't really like it. Some people they don't understand that much. They will just very naturally and say, also when you're going back home. And then this is my home, where I'm going. Of course, I see many mixed race family. Some is going good, and some also their family are not that as they expected, and they are being a tough time. But throughout when I grow up, maybe when I was a teenager, it's more easier for them to call me oh, that is my friend, the foreigner, that foreigner, something like that. And sometimes when they call me foreigner, when I was little, I would get a little sad, I don't think I'm a foreigner, but...
Hi, 大家好，欢迎来 Welcome to Taiwan。今天我们跑去了高雄，跟我们朋友聊天。影片开始以前，请不要忘记订阅、按赞、开启小铃铛，谢谢大家。
So my name is Zane, and I have Chinese name. It's called Han Zhiling. And I was born in Taiwan and grow and have education here. And now I'm a master's student, and also I do software development. I also do a little bit of modeling, and I'm looking for opportunity and chance to explore in this field. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I'm interested in as well.
All right. Any company out there, any manager, any scout that you are interested in a beautiful model? Links will be in the description below.
Okay. Yeah. Contact me. Thank you.
So you were born in Taiwan.
I'm a Taiwanese. I would consider myself a Taiwanese because actually I come from a mixed race family. My father is from the Middle East, Arabic, and my mom is Taiwanese. But actually the whole family live here and I was born here. So I grew up totally as a Taiwanese kid. All the education, all the culture and everything. So maybe my texture looked like a mixed race or a foreigner, but inside me I'm a Taiwanese.
Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Being raised by your dad from the Middle East and your mom as in Taiwanese, how is it like growing up in a mixed race family?
It's interesting. It's like I have the opportunity to experience two different kind of culture, which I would consider myself as a lucky person because if I only have one culture, I'll be like that. But because of these two different culture, especially the Middle East culture, the religion are totally different than the Asian culture, the Chinese culture. So I would say there's many conflicts, but also it's interesting how my parents let me experience it. They don't force me, I have to follow which culture. They just give me the idea of their cultures and let me choose and find myself. I think the most important for all the mixed race family, the problem is not where you're born or what race you are. It's finding yourself inside. You know you're born like this, so you have to find yourself, who are you, a self-identity. Yeah, know yourself more.
Which one of the cultures would you say you are more lean to?
I would say Chinese culture, but it's hard to 100% Chinese culture because I'm very close with my dad as well. So the mindset and everything he gave me, it's more like the Arab culture, but still I'm live in this environment. My cousins around me are Taiwanese culture. So it's really hard to choose a side. I would say both create who am I today.
How is it like living within the Taiwanese society as a mixed race child?
Everyone have their own stories, of course, but for my story, I'm really thankful because I live with a beloved family and everybody treated me so kind, so well. I think it's also one of the personality of Taiwanese. Taiwanese are usually very welcoming for foreigners. So growing up with them, I don't think my cousin treat me differently because for them, I'm their niece. They watch me like when I was a baby
Yeah,
and
yeah,
grow up,
you grew
so
up with them.
I'm nothing different for them. When I spend time with my friends, even for the first time, maybe people would think, oh, she looked like a foreigner, but later they would just forget it. They would just think me as Taiwanese like this.
In regards to the Taiwanese boys, do you have any preferential treatment?
Taiwanese boy would be like, oh, like that's a hot girl, but they would not really wanna go to talk with them because they feel like hard to chase or something, or maybe you need to communicate in English, something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And if for me, my experience in school, yeah, I know like people are nice to me, people try to know me, to get close to me, but it's more about personality, how you show them like what do you want. Always I am open and I want to make friends with everyone, so I would not say I'm popular, but people want to get close to me.
So would you say dating is easy for you here in Taiwan?
I would say it's easy because, as I say, in the first impression, I'm foreigner. People think like this. But when I start speaking Chinese, people will say like I'm very local. Like I don't have any difference.
Any difference,
So
yeah.
usually I communicate in Chinese if I am dating a Taiwanese guy. So eventually they don't feel like I'm different.
Okay.
I don't know. People just give me this kind of feedback. They just forget my look. Like, oh, you're Taiwanese. I don't feel like you're different.
More of your personality
Yeah.
that
So
you portray.
it's not difficult, and also I think people find me interesting because I have two cultures that I can express and say about it.
If you are to share any Middle Eastern culture with Taiwanese, what part of the culture would you like to share?
Definitely food, because my dad cooks a lot at home and his food was really good, like the Middle East food. So usually when people ask about this part, I always say like, come on, just come to my home. Like my dad will cook for you and you will know about the culture.
Interesting. So you've been to your dad's native country.
Yeah.
Are you treated differently there? Do they see you as a foreigner or as an Asian coming in?
Oh, okay. So because my feature are Middle East feature more than Asian feature. So when I go there, people will not treat me differently, like same. But when I start to talk with them, eventually people will know like, oh, you're not
Yeah.
born here. So, but people, I think, once again, I was surrounding with really nice people. So they are like very interesting about, so what your life in Taiwan, and they want to know me more and want to know my perspective more. And also it's the same like vice versa in Taiwan.
What do you find very difficult to adjust to or very difficult to accept here in the society?
For now, I think it's not that big deal, but throughout when I grow up, maybe when I was a teenager, it's more like an emotional thing, but like when I hang out with my friends, because it's more easier for them to call me like, oh, that is my friend, like the foreigner, that foreigner, something
Right,
like that.
mhm.
And sometimes when they call me foreigner, when I was little, I would get a little sad, like, I don't think I'm a foreigner, but you know what I mean? Yeah, but later I understand their view, because actually they don't try to feel like exclusion. They just want to introduce you. It's just more easy for them. So I accept that, and I think growing up is a process. You just keep accepting things and change it into a kind of energy and grow your self-identity. That's the most important thing.
What advice would you give to other mixed race children that are finding it hard to integrate into the society?
Of course, I see many mixed race family. Some is going like good, beloved family, going well, and some also their family are not that as they expected, and they are being a tough time or something like that. I would say the most important thing, it's you have to know who you are, like what you are doing. If you accept yourself as a mixed race, you have to love your culture. You have two culture, and you have more opportunity than others. Because sure, if you have two culture, you know more kind of language. It open door for you. So instead of thinking like why I'm like this, why I cannot fit in, it's not that hard actually. You just have to accept yourself and show your energy to the others, then people will accept
Accept you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you don't get because of being a mixed race, or is there anything that you get in particular because of a mixed race?
So I can speak 3 kind of language, and this definitely helped me much in maybe finding jobs or when I was a student, also some competition or something like that. They think, oh, your language is good and you're special, then I'll give you this chance. But all of the advantage you get is just open a door for you. You have to do the efforts behind it. It just makes you more easy at the first step. So I would say it definitely helps me in some way, yeah. But like disadvantage would be like, because for me, it's make me more easier to make friends because you have to combine with your personality as well. But with people who are more introvert or not easy to make friends, and as a mixed race, sometimes children will feel like you don't talk because maybe you don't speak our language, and they will call you in some names that maybe you don't really like it. But also maybe like some people, like they don't understand that much. They will just very naturally and say, also when you're going back home. And then like, this is my home, where I'm going, like, yeah. So it doesn't happen on me, but I've heard this kind of story. In general, people should like more acceptable and more understandable. Don't assume things as what you see.
Do you have anything else to tell your fellow countrymen?
For me, being a mixed race, I not only got the chance to choose and understand the culture I like, but also it opens my view. Like I'm more acceptable and more open to many kind of things because I know every kind of culture and thing are possible. There's not certain like Asian culture is the best or like Middle East culture is the best. I try to understand everything around me and even the culture I don't know. So I want to tell Taiwanese people that for sure, like maybe if you have one culture, maybe you have the mindset like, oh, my culture is the best.
It's the best, yeah.
And oh, you look like different or something like that. But try to understand because people are like this. You will not only meet one mixed race in your life. Now mixed race is all over around the world. Like people not only have 2 cultures, maybe 3 or 4 cultures, and we should accept that this is the reality. So just try to give more love, give more understanding. But in general, I think Taiwanese are really, very, very nice. Sometimes maybe they say something that make us or foreigner feel like a little bit offended or like sad. I don't think they mean it. It's just come out naturally. But you can like think a bit more before you give something to...
You make a comment or something.
Yeah, make a comment or something.
Okay, one last question.
Okay.
Are you single?
Me? Should I answer? Maybe. Maybe not.
Okay,
Let's
all right.
see. I don't know.
All her links will be in the description below. Go check it out.
See you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for giving us your time and sharing your experience as a mixed race living in Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.